Hey folks, Fernando doing our video for the More Survivalist, and in this video I'd just like to talk about something that I saw just moments ago. Someone sent me a link about a YouTube video of a blue-haired, seems to be a transvestite. Maybe it's a woman with the most manliest voice on the planet. Maybe it's a guy dressing like a woman. You really don't know sometimes these days. Anyway, you definitely do see the socialist logos and in the t-shirts that it is wearing. So you definitely know that the politics and everything that is involved with that. But it was sent to me like one of these look at what these Antifa commies are doing, and basically this person that seems to be like a woman or whatever it is, it's going through like different showing how to use the setup that he has, using the how to manipulate a rifle, an AR, Glock, a pistol. I think it's where you're having a CZ of all guns. So basically just showing its defensive setup. Now that's the main difference. For us in the firearms community, I would identify mostly as a conservative, freedom-loving type of people. We always talk about defense. This is very different. This person was talking about taking combatants and enemies, and a different take entirely on the idea of what those firearms were supposed to be used for. So someone in the comments section was saying, well, yes, as long as you're pro 2A, I'm all for it. Well, no, that's not the thing. This is not about you like guns, so you're on my side. This person is definitely not on your side if you're a freedom-loving person that upholds those basic values. This is the type of person that is planning on using those firearms so as to restrict those freedoms and liberties that the Second Amendment is supposed to uphold. So this is a very common mistake. This is a very naive take that a lot of people have. I've seen this many times, thinking that, okay, so they like guns. Finally, the commies, finally the left, finally the liberals are liking guns and see the wisdom in being armed so as to defend yourself. No, that's a key difference. They're not looking at getting guns so as to defend themselves from anything. They're looking at getting guns so as to actually go after your freedoms, your liberties, your right to defend yourself, your right to live in peace. Different little things. I'm not going to be posting the link to this person's YouTube channel. I have no intention to promote any of that in any way. I guess it's not that complicated to find a very thin female-looking individual moving around with an AR, and it's actually quite common, and it's getting a lot more common lately that you see these Antifas, these commies doing videos about firearms. And it's nothing to be happy about, because these are not people that are looking to get firearms and training so as to defend themselves, defend their families. They're looking at getting that so as to make a political statement, so as to make sure that you don't have a voice anymore. It's a completely different thing. Think of it this way. If someone breaks into your house with a gun, is that someone that is like-minded? Is that person just like you? Does that person have your same values and is looking to live a similar type of life? Or is that actually the complete opposite of everything that you stand for? Just because someone has a gun does not make a good person or a bad one. We've talked about this many times. The same goes the other way around. Just like you're not a bad person for having a gun, any type of firearm, you're not a good person either just because you have it. You may be a criminal. You may be maybe one of the more awful persons in the planet and just like guns, all right? In fact, the Second Amendment is intended so as to defend yourself from a tyrannic government that may well come after you with guns, or a mob, a violent mob, or a violent political movement, or violence, or terrorists coming after you for intention to achieve a political objective that they cannot achieve democratically. They look to achieve that through violence, and for that violence they may well end up using firearms. Having a gun does not make you a bad person. Same thing goes the other way around. Doesn't make you a good person either just because you have a gun. And there is that level of naivety. And sure, people were joking around about this, what seems to be a transvestite going through drills with the guns that it has and such, and all the mistakes. Sure, you see how he, she, or it goes for reholstering the gun and looks at the holster because it's about to miss it, and that tells you something. Then it's manipulating the AR and accidentally drops the magazine, and it's looking around a corner improperly and not changing from right to left shoulder and such. So you may poke holes and make fun all you want, and yes, sure, you definitely see that person never had, or at least doesn't seem to have had at any point, any serious firearms training of any kind. If you've gotten a training from any competent instructor, those are the kind of mistakes you definitely do not make. Those are pretty much drilled into your brain pretty early on. So most likely someone watching videos and learning from that and repeating. But don't underestimate that. That can be a potential serious threat. Someone that is determined, they have the firearms, they kind of see the YouTube content that is available for all of us, and they practice on that, and they repeat those they go through emotions, and eventually they will get somewhat good enough just to be a potential serious threat, if that is what's in their heart, and it definitely is. So this person had I saw some of the different videos. It's so strange because these people, it's either the most feminine looking guy that ever existed, or the more manly woman in the planet. It's one of these undefined type of creatures, and the thing is, it just shows you how unwell these people end up being, because it's not just about appearances, it's about the message, and it's about literally the message they have written across their chest, like all cops are bastards and other insults and that sort of thing. They just show the hate they have towards people like us. And this is something else I want to end this video with. You have to understand that these people are not like us. You and me, we are folks that look for ways of protecting our rights, protecting our families, protecting our liberties, basically protecting ourselves and our family. That is the big thing. It's about protection. It's not about going after people that think different. These folks are just that. These folks are about going after people that are not aligned with them. They're thinking of it as a military campaign against a given enemy. So who is the enemy? Anyone that is not affiliated with them. That is what they consider to be an enemy, right? That's what they call a combatant, an enemy, a soldier, right? And once you wrap your head around this, you understand how seriously bad things are. These people are literally preparing to go at war with those that are not like them. And this is one of those points in which, even if you're not like that, and even if you're like a good, honest, loving person that just doesn't want to go around hurting others, and that's just not in your heart, it really doesn't matter, because these people will come after you nonetheless, simply because you're not like them, simply because you're not a Marxist, a deranged socialist with a completely perverted idea of what normalcy is, all right? Because you're not like them, they hate you and they want to destroy you. And that's what they're preparing for. That's what they're getting armed for. That's what they try to train for as best as they can. Some of them may be more laughable than others, and okay, do all the jokes you want. I'm not laughing. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny that there's people out there preparing so as to eliminate those that are not like them. Okay, very different from what we do here. We talk about a completely different mentality and a completely different take on what the right use of weapons for self-defense is. These folks are nothing like us. Don't make that mistake. Guys, see you in our next video. Prepare as best as you can. Take care.